Hello everyone, and welcome to CAD Builder version 1.3.9. Let's check out the new features. We will start with creating designs. If you access the design module, you will notice a new icon at the bottom center of the screen called Measurements. This functionality will allow you to add measurements onto your plan elevation views, which can also be used to move objects as needed. Click on this icon to see three possible types: horizontal, vertical, or point-to-point. We'll pick horizontal for this example. Now begin by selecting the source object, in this case the left edge of this B12R cabinet. Then click on an anchor point. We will pick the right endpoint of this wall. A new measurement will appear. Click and drag this measurement line to draw it in one of two orientations. If you just click on it, a length attribute appears on the right. Click in this field, change it to 20 and press enter. This will move the source object relative to the anchor point and execute the measurement change. In other words, moving the B12R such that the horizontal distance between the cabinet and the wall is 20. This applies to the other measurement types, but in different orientations. Vertical measurements perform this vertically, whereas point-to-point performs the measurements diagonally straight across. These measurements can use both walls and cabinets as either sources or anchors, so we can clear an aisle more relative to the perimeter cabinets or drop a cabinet measurement relative to another, and it also works within the elevation view. User dimensions also persist in printed documents. Another design tool is the cabinet merging functionality. If you take two cabinets of the same general type, like two base cabinets, and of the same height and depth, put them side by side and cast a net to them, you will notice a new action called merge. This will take the two cabinets and combine them into one such that their shared sides are replaced by a partition and shared end styles are replaced by a mid style. This allows for an alternative approach to designing more complex custom cabinets. Instead of starting from scratch with an empty cabinet, dropping in the front and inside divisions, and assigning types, you can take cabinet modules, put them side by side, merge, and then deal with the opening cell sizes. For example, I will take two drawer stacks and drop them around a sink base with a false front. Then we will merge them. Now I can access the wireframe, assign front cell sizes, drop in the inside partitions and shelves relative to the openings, and there's my cabinet. The 3D window now has a button for hiding cabinets when the camera is behind the wall, toggled by clicking Cabinet Visible from Back. This is useful for some rooms where cabinets can obstruct the view of a wall on the other side. Cabinet catalog creation is also easier in this update. If you go to Edit a Catalog and access its settings, you will notice a new tab called Catalog Preview Options. Here you can set the set of global options CAD Builder will assume when you are editing cabinets in the Catalogs module. For example, we will set the preferred construction methods to framed full overlay, drawer box to rabbited drawer box, and drawer guides to tandem for framed cabinets. When applied, and we open a cabinet in the catalog, CAD Builder will assume these options for the purpose of the preview, showing you exactly what it will look like in the design with these same preset options. Floating shelves now have a wireframe construction, meaning they get cut listed and can be CNC'd as well. You can pick from three general types: one solid piece, one piece with a supporting board underneath, and a full floating shelf box. All these have associated construction options and material assignments to fully describe them in the global presets. For example, the box construction can come with an inner supporting frame, or it can be just the overall box case to leave space for relevant supporting brackets to mount to the wall. Many wireframe elements also have an enable-disable parameter in their sub-element entries. For example, let's say we are dealing with a sink-based cabinet, but we do not need the back top stretcher. We can go to the individual stretcher and uncheck the enabled box. If disabled, the BART is taken out of the construction and therefore out of the cut list without extending adjacent parts to fill up the volume. For another example, we can take the side of a cabinet and enable/disable it in the general attributes, whereupon connected parts adjust themselves to fill up the room. Or we can select the side panel directly and disable it, removing it from construction and keeping the top, back, and fronts the same size. The final major new function is grid label printing. CAD Builder can now format from the individual part labels into grid templates by going to the label setup, scrolling down to the grid template, and clicking Edit to create a new profile. We'll create one for Avery 5160 by clicking plus, naming it, adjusting the overall paper size to 8.5 by 11, determining the page margins, which for Avery is 1/2 inch from the top and bottom and 7/32 from the left and right, setting the number of columns and rows, which is 3 by 10, sizing each cell, 2 5/8 by 1 inch, the space between each cell, 0 vertically, 3/32 horizontally, and assigning the units, inch and 1/16. Hit OK to choose this template, and then print the labels. If we examine the results, we can see that sheet layouts each get a whole sheet, while part labels are grouped into grid templates, ready to be printed onto every 5160 sheets. As always, you can view our release notes on our website at cabbuildersoftware.com/release notes for a full list of changes. Thank you, and we will see you in the next video.